Now, since its inaugural flight in 1953, Air France has been at the forefront of connecting France and South Africa. This through promoting international travel and cultural exchange between the two nations. Today, I sat down with Wilson Tauro, country manager for Southern Africa at Air France-KLM, for a glimpse into the airline's future plans.
I think it's a very interesting question because there's really no one clear-cut straight answer, right?
Okay.
I think one of the things that I'm very proud of is the fact that we've been committed to South Africa and the African continent. We've been flying here with Air France for 71 years and with KLM for 85 years. So it goes back a long time.
Yeah.
We've continuously evolved in terms of the connectivity that we offer. We talk about having 4 or 5 stops right in the early days to right now when we have non-stop flights, which takes just a little over 11 hours, but also making sure that the connectivity from Paris or Amsterdam into the rest of Europe and the rest of the world is seamless. And I think that's really where we are really proud of how well we've done in terms of connecting this country.
Well, actually just shed some light on your network, your flight network, but also some of the routes that you have added, and also just the interesting trends that you have seen there in that space.
So what's interesting is that post-COVID, the demand for air travel has gone up considerably.
Yeah.
And that is something that came as a surprise to us as well, because we were expecting that the demand would come back only by 2027 or 2028. But in terms of how quickly people have responded back to traveling, and absolutely, but also investing on experiences rather than other things is making a big difference. For us, it gives us a hope in terms of how much we invest into our markets. And one of the big challenges that we have today is the demand globally has gone up considerably.
Yes.
And that also means that we're competing with the rest of the world to have more flights into the country. But all in all, it's been a positive, good last 3 or 4 years where we have really kind of capitalized on the growing capacity, not only for South Africans flying into Europe, but also for Europeans wanting to explore South Africa as a destination.
You talk about this very tight competitive landscape around the world and in South Africa as well. And I'm wondering, what are some of the interesting innovations that you have actually added and that you focused on in order to enhance that customer experience?
I think the innovation is the next way forward. In terms of the booking experience, customers today can go online, book their flights, but also a lot of ancillary services. You can choose the seat that you like, you can upgrade to business class, or also you can choose the meals that you want. One big enhancement that's coming onto our flights as of 2025, specifically on Air France, is the fact that we can offer internet connectivity to all our Flying Blue members, and that will be free of cost. And I think that's a big step, because when you're flying for 11 hours, you need to be connected, and that is across the board. For people who are in business, or even if you just want to stream movies. I mean, that's something that's making it much more comfortable for our customers.
Yeah. I mean, just on that, how important then are partnerships? And when you are looking out for partnerships, what exactly is the criteria that they have to fit?
So I think partnerships is in. I always say there's a partnerships in and competition is out, because at the end we learn from each other. We also follow our competitors really closely, look at the kind of things that they do, and if there's something that we can implement, we always do that. And I think at the end of the day, it comes back to the customer. What does the customer expect? How can we make an overall experience for customers as seamless as possible? And the journey in terms of from the booking process all the way up to the arrive to the destination. It has a lot of meaning in terms of what we can do in improving these processes.
Yeah. I mean, in South Africa specifically, we are under a new political landscape. We have the government of national unity, and a lot of things are being done to really provide the base and the foundation for sustainable economic growth. Just on that front, because there really has been improved business confidence and business sentiment. From an airline like Air France-KLM, what are you holding on there that you are hoping that will filter through to your business operations as well?
Yeah, so we play a big role in terms of connecting different countries. So of course, one of the few direct flights that you have from South Africa into Europe is operated by Air France and KLM. And our role is to make sure that we are available there in terms of the connectivity that we have for our business travelers, for our leisure travelers, and of course for people who are wanting to explore this beautiful country. The news about the visa regulations that has been implemented or will be implemented from the 1st of January is a big welcome news, because the one thing that we really try to do in terms of lobbying with the government is to try and lift barriers, because I think when you lift barriers, you make it easy and accessible for people to travel here. And our role there is to make sure that we engage with the right stakeholders, to make sure that we give our viewpoint and also implement the whole changes in terms of making this acceptable for everybody.
Yeah, and in terms, you're talking about stakeholders, because the Department of Tourism is also a big one there. What are you hoping that they will focus on in terms of enhancing that kind of traffic for Air France-KLM?
So South Africa is in a position where we are quite lucky with the natural beauty that the country offers. So there is a big amount of tourism that comes in this year. But in terms of engaging with the stakeholders, we engage with the Department of Tourism, because I think that's really where the starting point is. So we speak to the Minister of Tourism, we speak to all the stakeholders in that department to make sure that we make South Africa as an attractive destination in the rest of the world. The next step, of course, is the Department of Transport, because they're responsible for all the bilaterals that we have. AXA, which is the airport authority, plays a big role in terms of what kind of facilities are available, because let's not forget that South Africa also plays a big role in terms of being a hub for the Southern African countries. So people flying to Mozambique, people flying to Botswana, they use South Africa as a hub to connect. So the facilities that we make available at the airport here would mean that we are competing with the likes of other hubs where the customers have an easy choice to move to. So I think, of course, there are different moving parts, and for us what's really important is how do we make sure that all of these moving parts are connected well, and again we keep South Africa as a destination of choice for travelers, but also make sure that we give a good hub concept for Johannesburg specifically.
That was Wilson Tauro, Country Manager for Southern Africa at Air France-KLM.